I tell them where I live, and it's just like, you know, why don't you move, or how is it going, or something.
Why don't you move?
I love it here.
Ferguson was crying out for a new perspective.
Take a look at this. This is a perspective of Ferguson you don't normally see. This pleasant picture of an idyllic suburban neighborhood is just one of many examples the people of Ferguson and their new police chief hope you can use to imagine a better St. Louis. This is for
401. I've lived in here since '86, and then we bought this one.
Linda James-Jawahir
We landscaped all this.
owns 3 big, beautiful homes.
But I've had two weddings here.
Her posh properties might put you in the mind of Kirkwood or Clayton.
And I lived in Clayton for 5-6 years.
why did you move from Clayton to Ferguson?
My husband at the time, we both had grown up in Ferguson. We wanted a bigger home and affordability.
So you and your husband raised how many children in Ferguson?
4, 3 boys and a girl.
But the rioting that followed the shooting death of Mike Brown and the grand jury decision not to indict Officer Darren Wilson created a global belief of Ferguson as a universal symbol of uprising.
This is video of the Little Caesars in Ferguson.
It was on the
North
fringe.
Shore.
Actually, some of the parts were closer to Delwood or Jennings.
Linda says that situation in a small section of her city makes it unfair to think about Ferguson with fear.
I'm a little 5'2" blonde walking around. I take walks every day in Ferguson.
Due to the events of late 2014, this community was forced into the act of confronting its challenges by focusing on the effort toward change. Last spring, a brand new Starbucks opened up here on West Florissant Avenue, not too far away from 270. Then 10 days after that, after a nationwide search in which 54 people applied, the Ferguson Police Department welcomed in a newly sworn-in chief.
And I think what happens in Ferguson will spread out across the nation.
Doris Schmoss has the challenge of transforming the Ferguson force, now operating under federal oversight. The city's first African-American police chief also has the charge of recruiting and retaining good cops in a community struggling to overcome a crisis.
Who are you looking for to be a member of the Ferguson Police Department?
I'm looking for someone that's honest, forthright, and trustworthy, also very qualified for the job. But I'm also looking for people who have a heart for community.
As the police try to ensure the city's protection, the people strive to make sure it protects its perception.
It's very nice. We've got beautiful tree-lined streets. We've got parks. We have a farmer's market every Saturday from 8 to noon. There's nice little restaurants.
The people of Ferguson make it what it is, and the chief tells me that his salary is $103,000, which is significantly less than what he made in Miami. In fact, it's less than his Miami pension. He says he took the job in Ferguson to continue his commitment to effecting change in law enforcement. As you know, I know the chief from my days of reporting in Miami.
Yes.
So coming like full circle.
Really did.
And that is my last Imagine piece, as you know. And as you know, before this, I actually made a point of going to Ferguson because I didn't know much about it before the unrest. And I made a decision to go there and learn about it. And I've been to a lot of the restaurants and all the great places in Ferguson that make it a great city. And it's a shame that the world knows it for Mike Brown, the shooting and the unrest that followed it.
But little people like this, like Chief Moss, like you doing these stories, helping to turn that back around.
And hopefully that continues.
What a great piece to end your Imagine tenure on.
Thank you.
Great job, Andre.
All right, I got 2 more days here, 2.5 more days here.
You're not done yet.
So you're still stuck with me.
We're going to handcuff him to the table here so he can't leave.